so... Come on, Secret. Where's the fun? Oh, it's going to be... All right, guys. Secret's going to sit back. Medusa's going to farm. If they don't, the Deuce is farming, so I'm sure it's a good draft on either team. I'm just being a bit, I'm exaggerating here. No, it's a good pick. The Deuce is very good. It's really good at cutting this end, so yeah.
All right,
I like it.
Thank you very much, gents. Let's move into game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. ESL 1 Birmingham's Championship Sunday.
Three times in the DPC season, these teams have met up against each other. Secret and two teams seem to be pretty even.
Into the Roshan.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the one.
Playoffs they have been on. PSG.LGD, a little bit of weakness we saw in the upper bracket finals. A lot of talk about how their play was very questionable and inconsistent. But hopefully now that they're in the lower bracket, backs against the wall, they'll show us the same PSG.LGD that managed to make it to the TI finals.
Yeah, I mean, what a stacked top 3 that we have for the final day is.
Oh, yeah. Both Puppy and Ame getting in on the fun. Blitz, what do you think about the draft? The last big Medusa, I know T-Governor wasn't a fan of it from a, let's have fun in Dota perspective, but he did say it was a good last pick.
I think so too, because it continues to do what Secret's very good at, which is secure the late game win condition and force the enemy team to make a move. In the interview with Puppy, when he was talking about the series with Gambit, that's exactly what he talked about. He said, we knew they were on a timer, and that's all it is putting teams on a timer. The Medusa versus Sven matchup is incredibly Medusa favored. It's a melee hero that has to walk at her and uses these like big burst abilities to start fights as Gamsor.
Nice Storm Bolt. They are going to try and grab the bounty rune. Not quite. Mid-1 was able to pick it up before FY could get there with the swashbuckle. Not a lot of damage. It's all very split right now. Puppy's going to be the last one out because he's the tankiest of the 3. Even thinking about going back in. Still, the bounty runes will go 2 for 2.
And we're going to see a Storm in the offlane, actually, being tri-laned. And somebody told me once after the change to Pole that it was actually okay to play Storm as a side lane hero.
Yeah.
Like he has high armor, pretty good base damage, and now that the slow doesn't just completely screw you over.
Well, we'll see how that actually fares. He's a really good swashbuckle from FY, hitting onto 2. X-Nova still chasing, but now he's out of position, is ignited up, taking a lot of damage. FY still trying to chase mid-1, but doesn't want to get too close to those remnants laid out. Good resistance there by him.
I think the downside is that your remnants will never hit.
Yeah.
Unless you have the pull or you have some sort of guaranteed setup stun. And because of the ignite, it's very unlikely that you actually get any kills with it. It's just going to be a defensive measure for the time being.
And how's he get these levels in a tri-lane?
I think they were hoping they'd get kills, but tri-laning against Sven, never a good idea here.
First
blood.
There it is, X-Nova. The last shot from him will secure first blood against what is Secret's usual mid player. Now playing in an aggro tri-lane for them and giving Nisha Medusa the 1v1.
And the scary part right now is that you're giving you're tri-laning against probably the best tri-lane hero in Dota right now. Like I think that Sven, the reason why he's so good is he's unmatched in that regard. I guess is. If you think about it, Storm really, you don't have a stun. You're just kind of slowing people with your nuke out.
Yeah.
He hasn't hit a remnant on anybody, but it's that PSG.LGD continue to try, especially onto the Storm. I mean, I guess if I think about it, Ogre plus Storm, that's not an easy combo to kill. It'd be Yapsor that you'd have to go on.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
And how can you really get to that back line? Especially since Pango's not going to offer you the best tri-lane either. He does manage to get another lucky shot proc. Fortunately, there's Yapsor who TP'd in, but maybe he really wants to go for this kill. He knows Nisha's entirely out of mana. One last Crypt Swarm will secure it, and he's got plenty of extra bits of regen, so he should be fine here. He's got 2 stick charges as well as a Fairy Fire. FY, he's going to hope for, well, maybe not, actually. It's Death Prophet's just a bit too low to go for that second kill on Yapsor.
And during that time, even though the Doom, very slightly losing in CS, did get the solo kill. A little bit of a surprise there. We didn't get to see how that happened, but...
I mean, the maxed out Infernal Blade, he doesn't even go for the second level of Devour, which makes the regen rate go from 3 to 8. It's already super value level, he just went all offense.
And because of the fact that he killed the solo offlaner who was doing well for himself, he's already level 6 as bottom lane. FY gonna get gone on.
Warcry going out, but immediately just beaten down. FY is gonna be fire blasted to death, and Ame, once again, cannot protect his supports.
Shaman went for the pull there. Just an absolute rough lane now. And I mean, we thought that, or I thought that PSG.LGD could reasonably win 3 lanes, especially with the start that they had getting the first blood.
Yep.
They get over-aggressive one too many times. Zai gets a solo kill. Mid lane is still going pretty well for them as we did see the DP kill the Medusa and get the solo XP for it. But I mean, if you are going to lose a lane, the Dusa one is fine because she has a triangle to farm. And it's actually Zai that opts to skip his level of Doom right now, and he's being a little bit greedier. And this is what we were talking about, like the greediness of Secret, not forcing anything. This is probably the team that uses the least amount of smokes in the early game.
Yep.
The only time I ever see them do it is really to ward.
See, PSG.LGD are actually going to go for an early smoke themselves. They're going to get a ward in that triangle area where they know the Medusa is eventually going to start farming up Ancients, playing the high ground here to be able to catch Yapsor as he rotates over. Should be a pretty easy kill with the Shackles. Yapsor is going to be able to get the Fate Bolt. That'll slow down a lot of the damage, but FY still holding on to the Swashbuckle. Doesn't actually hit him, but it doesn't matter. They still get the kill. Now potentially dive here in the mid lane. The Exorcism goes out, and maybe he's just going to run down Puppey inside the trees. Puppey trying to juke it out as best as possible. Doesn't manage to get the creeps to block in the Death Prophet for him. Now Death Prophet goes up. Eventually they do kill Puppey, yes, but there's no way for maybe to get out. What a trap set by Puppey as he just makes a little loop-de-loop around there in the trees.
And this is what T-Governor said yesterday about Secret style, is you don't have to make any plays. Let them go on your heroes that are just naturally tankier. They'll try to go for dives under the tower. People can just TP in at that point. That's the only rotation you have to make. You don't have to bring everybody to do so. And this is how you just slowly outgreed the enemy team. You saw LGD's 2 supports go for a smoke. They get a kill on Rubik. But they try to make other plays, they're denied. Their DP goes for the all-in on a Puppey.
Now
all of a
Secret
sudden,
is close to having top 3 CS.
It happens in a hurry with this team, and it's so scary. Because I'm sure PSG.LGD felt so good in the early run.
A lot of magic damage here. Ame going to be body blocked a bit by Puppey. There is going to be X-Nova finally joining the safe lane and putting some damage out, but as you said, these 2 heroes, specifically the Ogre and the Storm, just seem to be too tanky. Really making it so the Shadow Shaman's high base damage, which is at 84 right now, seems to tickle these 2s.
Gets harder once mid one hits level 6. It'll be the rotator for his team as FY invised up behind Yapsor, trying to make something happen, but Yapsor looks like he knows what's up. And during this time, they just continue to farm. FY sees the courier pass by, but can't do anything about it, and he just continues to waste time as everyone from Secret continues to just farm up. No one in this top lane.
Tell Yapsor really very suspicious of what's going on right now. I mean, there's no exorcism. He could run forward and just Fate Bolt the creep wave, pull it off the tower. Doesn't even love that much. It's a good thing too, because I was hitting right on top.
You know, all this time, all three cores continue to farm at bottom lane.
Try, managed to get the spear onto the Medusa, but she's super tanky, especially with the nerfed wall damage. Chalice is not going to be able to do enough, and now they're going to turn onto him. With the maxed out Infernal Blade, Zai can just keep on running down Chalice. And there's no real way to escape unless he gets a really good spear onto the Doom and survives that Mystic Snake, and he will.
It's going to be a 33 HP hero getting out of the way as Puppey. Going to deny mid tower, knows that it belongs to them.
Does mean that Secret may be able to control this top bounty. In fact, they're all moving up here now to go for Ame. It looks like they're going to pull him back and get the Doom onto him. Now the rest of him, she is not too far away, but it looks like they're just doing too much damage. Sven just look good.
They do want to secure the bounty runes though, and that's why Secret up here with all three.
Go forward with the exorcism, manage to get the Zai's committing himself to be able to pick up the bounty rune now, trying to get Shackles into the high ground onto the Storm Spirit, who's going to go for that kill, and the Shadow Shaman will be able to get him to slow down onto Zai. FY has another Swashbuckle coming up, doesn't need it though. The Crib Swarm is enough to kill FY. That kill. They're going to try and go for FY here, as he's so squishy. The Fateful is going to be enough, but mid one's a little bit low. Fortunately, he does have plenty of mana. Yapsor put a drain on to maybe slowing him down, so maybe just really can't pursue. This is where you really needed to be able to have that fight, get that arena in to make sure that Secret couldn't retreat so easily.
That's what Secret does best. They just pick you off. They don't have to overcommit to kill FY. Nobody else dies after they lose their Doom. And during this entire time, win condition, Nisha just continues to farm.
Secret made believe in the Medusa versus Sven matchup. It hasn't gone their way. We're going to have another fight here, as they are going to have the Rolling Thunder as well as the Arena pop. The supports in the back line are stuck right now.
Doing so much.
Not going to be able to do a whole lot. Mid one's going to be able to jump in farther. Seashells is super low, going to be able to pull him back, and that's another death. And maybe run out of damage. FY. Another Swashbuckle coming up, but it's going to be so hard for him to escape from this, unless maybe they can actually turn with X-Nova now. They maybe thinks they can go for it. Another good crit swarm. Managed to get the Hex out onto the Doom. A big Infernal Blade hit onto the Death Prophet, bringing him low. They do manage to get a good Swashbuckle in, but they're all so damn tanky. And PSG.LGD underestimate how tanky Secret is right now. They can't eat through the Doom. He has no backup to
Good at team fighting. Like, the fact that they got away like that, everybody was low, but they continue to just bait in and out, in and out. So PSG.LGD, they overestimate their strength. They get baited into a situation where they just can't win. They've already lost their Sven.
Yep.
Nisha just continues to farm. Just team from 4 on 5. As we're going to see here again, every fight always looks like it's going to go bad for Secret, and then they just completely outplay you.
And it looked like a good setup there with the wall into the Rolling Thunder, where he was just able to do a lot of damage. But he killed the Ogre. They did a lot of damage to him, but couldn't actually finish him off because he's too tanky. The Rubik dies, yes, but it was a free game for the cores of that. We do see that we're going to make a dive here in the top lane, where they're going to be able to pull back this Sven. 2 cores dead at top. Secret is just totally outmaneuvering PSG.LGD and out-team fighting that. Puppey doesn't care about a tier 2 tower. He'll go for the kill onto X-Nova. The healthy Yapsor. 3 dead on PSG.LGD, and Secret, I mean, you said once they start winning, they win in a hurry. And we're seeing that here. I mean, it's just nothing but Secret highlights.
So it looks like they want to take the tier 1 trade. Puppey still hanging around the area now that the catapult's dead. A little bit scarier for maybe to commit to this. So now he's just going to back up. 3 heroes from Secret are around this area. And it's their farm efficiency coupled with the fact that they're so good at defending their tier 1s.
Yeah.
The one tier 1 tower that they did lose, they end up denying. And it's that counter puncher's aggression. Just let people come into you. Let them use all their abilities. You have tankier heroes naturally. Puppey loves playing these tanky supports in this draft. Let them go on him when he plays the heroes like Ogre or Abba.
Yeah, like when they set up for the bounty rune fight, they rotated 4 heroes up to top lane. They didn't try and invade, right? They let PSG.LGD run into them. FY's trying to set up right now. Goes for the Rolling Thunder with a TP in from Mars, but Feels like that was a little bit slow. They do manage to get the arena grab onto the Medusa, so it's going to waste a large part of that Stone Gaze timing. Does manage to get the spear stun as well. He's totally out of mana, and he's just going to get bursted down from here. Unless I can stop it. A really great stop. The toss back with the telekinesis as well. The long sit bait is going to be able to grab and kill maybe the Gold Scepter. He's going to be left for dead. He knows he can't survive. One last swing from mid one will do it. Challenge just going to try and get out of Faithful. Zaps him down. FY with the Ignite as well as the Urn may take out here as well. It's going to be a close call, but managed to get to the shrine just in time.
Barely gets there in time, and they're still going to lose this bottom tower. A 2-for-1 trade. They did need to kill the Medusa.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
It just seems like every single time PSG.LGD make a move, the hero they go on is too tanky.
Yes.
Right? Whether if they actually kill it, like say the Medusa there, they still get into a bad team fight because Secret has enough time to rotate.
And this has to be so frustrating to play, because it feels like you're not killing anybody on the map without some disadvantageous trade. As we see here again at bottom, I mean, they try to counter-rotate themselves, but the double TPs onto the tier 1. Everyone was farming during this time, then they TP in.
I mean, we also have X-Nova as well as Ame, neither of which teleport for this.
Yes.
And I feel like that's got to be a bit of a mistake, right? Like, of course Secret are going to fight for their Medusa's life.
It almost feels like they were trying to do the same thing that Secret does, where they don't over-rotate.
Yeah.
They're going to pay for it with their lives. Hit one.
And he's got to be pretty happy with that fight set up by Nisha. They are going to be able to get the Doom onto the Death Prophet, just bursting her down so quickly. The Rolling Thunder is going to be there too late. They do have their arena out, but X-Nova's already in. 2 down for PSG.LGD, and they couldn't actually finish up Nisha either. So now Chalice is stuck in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by Secret heroes. 3 dead.
Thank you, heroes. Secret doesn't. They just TP to their tier 1s. They're like, we'll take that trade every day. And PSG.LGD, I think the word for them is frustrated. Anytime they try to make a move, this is the result. And you're thinking to yourself, it feels like they have infinite TPs on the side of Secret, and it's because they're not trying to rotate themselves, Cap. In the early game, what real rotations did they make to try to get kills? It was just TP to your tier 1, take a fight. TP down to the tier 1 bottom, take a fight. There's very little downtime for them.
Yeah.
And they abuse the fact that you think they're so much greedier than you. You see this Medusa and you're thinking to yourself, well, nobody will fight. But it all comes down to the fact that mid one almost always plays one of these heroes that can tempo control and just take these early fights nonstop. He's willing to sacrifice a little bit of his farm, a little bit of his game, so that the rest of his team can thrive.
And they gave Zai a good enough game that he can always come to these fights. He didn't need any kind of recovery time. He was just able to fight with the Infernal Blade all the time. And I mean, honestly, I'm just surprised that PSG.LGD is not down by more, because I feel like they've lost like 4 or 5 team fights in a row.
Yes, and
but they're only down by 3K.
Sven, his ability to farm with the cleave.
Yeah.
Almost always just ahead. You have Mask of Madness. The downside of it, though, is that you need to be much more ahead than this. Because I think that Medusa just hard counters your hero. The Stone Gaze is too good. Your mana pool being low makes your Mana Snake even better.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to the point where Medusa is just really picking up on that farm rate. Now that she's got the Manta style, we're going to see a significant tick up in her GPM.
Yeah, and she's going to get evasion at some point. And Sven hates playing against heroes with evasion.
Right.
Like, that's why the Sven Lifestealer matchup feels so bad, because Lifestealer hits level 20, he gets the evasion talent, plus he has Radiance. And once Sven's BKB gets low at all, it's not possible for him to play. So normally you want to get MKB or Bloodthorn, and Bloodthorn is so much better of an option. Bottom lane, mid one, he's just going to push out the wave, back out as they use their scan. And it's this time that they're spending, as we're going to see Secret finally smoke up.
Under attack.
Gonna rotate into mid one here.
That should have been a dead giveaway, as mid one got bloodlusted out of thin air.
Yeah. They had the successful scan, seeing that mid one was retreating. Shows back up. PSG.LGD do show some good restraint. I mean, it seemed like they were getting really frustrated early. Just constantly trying to take fights. As it is now, PSG.LGD gonna go for a smoke themselves. This is a good opportunity. Seek Roshan, I think, with the double damage rune and God's Strength.
Plus, you know they just smoked. So they're gonna now split up, farm out a little bit. This is actually quite a good idea, I think.
smoking to the other side of the map. Oh no, X-Nova wants to be able to save that ward, but he won't be able to do it in time. The illusion does take that. It's gonna go into the Roshan pit and spot this out. They're gonna pop the Exorcism, seeing that, okay, Secret have the vision. We want to make sure we are taking this Roshan as fast as possible. They don't have a chance to be able to jump in. They will be able to grab that Aegis. Now, Ami's a bit low. The Spear's gonna whip, but they do have really good Rolling Thunder. Storm's gonna be able to zip out, though, just in time. Secret playing on their high ground right now, while Puppey's gonna try and stall out these heroes. They just throw the arena and retreat. I love the fact that they could have thought to themselves, oh, let's kill Puppey. He's inside the arena, but they've fallen in.
He uses God Strength. There's no Shaman wards. It's not about having numbers in the Aegis there. It's about having abilities, and that's why Secret gonna get aggressive here as they take the tower. They've got a 10-second BKB picked up on their Doom. Very good position for them right now because they know that so many big ultis are on cooldown for PSG.LGD.
Look at that, a very early BKB.
He's so farmed right now.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Insanely farmed, but also just prioritizing the team fight item as soon as possible. Not getting greedy with his ideas.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They're gonna grab this tower for free. Very hard for PSG.LGD to take that. Mid one gets a kill on FY.
Stupendous.
Nice little pickoff, and you can see it started off a little bit more even, but people can see the way this series is going. Team Secret just keeps on winning these fights now, taking 2 objectives, but again, only up by 3K net worth. I want to keep emphasizing that because I feel like PSG.LGD is doing a really good job keeping the net worth differential very small.
Oh, absolutely.
They've been farming very well for themselves.
And it goes to show you how efficient the top teams are.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Secret, to beat them, you have to be almost as efficient as them, not wasting too much movement. I feel like that's the name of the game for me right now. What they've discovered in this patch is Zai runs forward. He is by himself.
Yeah.
Just has Puppey with him. The other 2 cores connecting towards bottom.
Shows how strong he thinks he is, right?
Yeah, with the
Like,
BKB.
I've got this 10-second BKB. I can go pretty much by myself and challenge like 3 heroes next to a tier 3 rather.
Positioning right now of Zai, holding that high ground area. Nisha gonna get stunned up, but
Oh, this is a tough tower to defend. We're gonna have to wrap around here. There's gonna be the Doom. If they can actually just get out and reset, it'd be fantastic, but there's always gonna be that catch from mid one. Who managed to grab X-Nova, who turns around, throws some invisibilities. He actually had the War Cry helping him out there and was able to survive for a long time, trying to get the spear out. Wasn't able to get the storm, and is now Chalice. It's just got to retreat, but mid one's going to be able to jump back in, pull some heroes out. The Rolling Thunder is going to be able to bounce around. They got the stun of the storm. They killed him. Now the Rolling Thunder is stunning up so much. Ame tries to go for the kill on Anisha, who runs out of mana, yes, but just survives just long enough to get the stone form and force these heroes to retreat. The Death Prophet dies as a result, and Secret win yet another fight. It's always a
so much worse when the storm dies right there.
Yeah.
Plus they use the Doom on the Aegis Sven that was running away. He's quite
That was
tanky.
really weird.
And I was like, what are you doing, Zion? What it really does is it removes him from the fight.
Yeah.
And it makes it so that he can't get that turnaround potential in Secret. You see they just run in during that time. And as soon as the Doom is off, they run back.
And if they had any other hero, they wouldn't have been able to, like, Zai wouldn't have made that kind of aggressive move, right? Because they didn't really, it looked like they're like, oh, they're just going to get back to their tier 3, but thanks to having a mid-1 Storm Spirit, they always have the catch to follow up that Doom initiation. 11-24, now a 7,000 net worth lead for Team Secret. These early fights, I feel like sometimes you can trade them out just because of low death timers and keep the net worth even, but is beginning to be a bit of a stretch. Scotty, a very early one.
That's another item that just hard counters the Sven.
Yeah.
And if you're PSG.LGD, you have to have more urgency than this. I don't think you win this game late. I feel like Storm Dusa is much better than the 2 cores that you have. The Doom is always a core remover as well.
Double damage, Nisha with an eye of Scotty. They're going to show up, manage to get a good stun, starting off onto the Mars. Going to try and blow him up as quick as possible with the Surfers Ward surrounding, but they do have that BKB for Zai, so he can walk on through, go for X-Nova, try and beat him down, but he actually just wants to be able to get out. Nisha is getting stunned up around these Serpent Wards, and is a little bit low on mana right now, but now they jump in for the Storm Seer. That's why he was able to make that kind of commitment and just challenge Ame with the God Strike. No problem, he should be able to bring him down. They do manage to get the Storm Seer, though. A great silence from the Death Prophet. That is going to be the first line of the Storm, and he'll be back soon. Then Sven is going to throw on another Storm Bolt. If he can actually close the distance, get on top of Nisha, they can certainly win this fight. Nisha so low, should be able to get him just a couple more shots. FY, maybe he can find him, but they do get the Fire Blast on FY, and he actually dies here, so Nisha, he's going to be able to TP out. What a great turn by Puppey and Yapzor, protecting Nisha from the pursuit of FY.
And that's going to be a 2 for 3.
With an Aegis going down on LGD as well. I mean, if they'd gotten the Medusa, then maybe LGD could have said, well, that's an Aegis somewhat well spent. But I can't imagine they're too happy with losing fights with an Aegis around their shrine.
I do like this Ags pickup a lot, by the way. By the Death Prophet.
Yep.
I think that's maybe understands he's most likely going to get doomed most of the time if the fights go the way they're supposed to. And this allows him to still have some damage in the team fight.
Gives you, I mean, it feels like a perfect item for Death Prophet, right? It gives you good stats and everything. You see the initiation going for Chalice first because it's the hero they ran into. A very slow kill thanks to that Bulwark.
And the wards just stay alive the entire time.
Yeah, they ended up doing so much damage. A bit unfortunate, Ame, like, he blows the God Strength, it just really doesn't get that much damage in his first line. But now we're going to head back into the game where Ame is in serious trouble. He's going to try and fight up against Zai. And thanks to a little bit of Vlad's lifesteal, he is doing okay for himself now. The man comes out from FY. Warcry going down as well. Ame just barely alive, but finally, the Infernal Blade finished him off. They still get a really good exchange there. Finally, we can say convincingly, PSG.LGD did manage to win a fight, a 1 for 3.
Yeah, they needed something like that, as that's the first time in a while they've traded efficiently for themselves.
Yeah.
Bottom lane, the push is coming in now.
They do have Serpent Wards, so it's a little bit tough. The Storm Sphere, it looks like he died first in that fight, so he's already back up. So they won't be able to go for a tier 2 tower push with the Serpent Wards.
PSG.LGD, I feel like they're doing a very commendable job. I think a lot of other teams would have been overran at this point.
Yeah.
But they're still keeping themselves in it.
They're, I did not think that this item was going to be so highly prioritized. An Aghanim Scepter next for Chalice. I don't think it's a bad item.
It's the reset, really, right?
Yeah, it's the reset of the God's Rebuke, so you could just keep banging it out over and over again. I just figured you would want a damage item first. You would want your, like, Deso or something.
So I was having this conversation with T Governor backstage about, like, what items you really want to go on Mars.
Yeah.
Part of the problem is that the traditional DPS items don't really apply to him.
Yes.
Butterfly doesn't do anything for him. NKB is only good if they have, like, high amounts of evasion, but I don't think that God's Rebuke can miss anyways.
Yeah.
So then you're left with, like, S and Y that doesn't actually add that much more physical damage. So it really, if you really think about it, it just boils down to Deso. That's really your only DPS item that really contributes anything. So I think going for the Ags, it's either the Ags or the Deso. It's one or the other.
And it will make him significantly tankier, so I'm not going to naysay it too much, especially since he's oftentimes going to be playing the front line, allowing the Sven to be able to get a better Blink, God Strength initiation, and he needs to be able to create space for this Death Prophet as well. You see the smoke up from Secret. They've made their way to this tier 2. PSG.LGD, they know. They're all behind Nisha right now. Couldn't be more obvious.
Anywhere that the Dusa goes at this point, you're going to stick behind her, because she's such an immobile hero.
And it looks like Team Secret felt that was not the tower to take it this time. Especially with the Roshan should be coming up soon. It's got a minute and a half right now. It's going to be a little bit of later spawn. That's part of the reason they smoked up in the first place, is they went by that Roshan pit, checked it out. We're hoping for a pickoff, I'm sure.
Fly actually pretty farmed right now. Has Greaves.
Yeah.
Has a Javelin. Trying to go for the Blink Dagger next, so he can get to the back line. Both teams in a similar position here as PSG.LGD. They're just farming their own triangle. They're loath to leave this area. They don't want to give up Roshan. They know that's the big objective for them.
Yeah.
Now in this game, getting an Aegis onto your Storm Spirit would be pretty game-winning at this time, and getting a cheese on a Medusa is even bigger.
16-28, another smoke from Team Secret. You said this is a team that, as greedy as they are, they don't use a whole lot of smokes in the laning phase. It just means they have more to utilize as they head into the mid game. And PSG.LGD may not be expecting the second smoke, because they're going to start off on Ame here, and he's so isolated from the rest of his team that it is a clear death for him. The carry of PSG.LGD is down now for 70 seconds, and they're going to look for more, just kind of running out there. They spot anybody, they're likely to die, and that's why X-Nova's going to try and hide away into the trees here. Zai doesn't spot him, but there is going to be the Roshan spawning just at the right time for Secret. No buyback. PSG.LGD unlikely to have a game plan here. FY is going to try and get the Rolling Thunder off. They managed to get the silence. Oh, this would be big. Rolling Thunder is going to be able to nab him once, but now he's no longer silenced, but there is going to be the Hex just in time. One more hit out, and that should be enough now, as there's Chalice following it up. Now if they can actually funnel into the Roshan pit fast enough, Secret got greedy. They could have just stayed 5 inside the pit and taken that Aegis and cheese. Would have been a huge win for them, but tried to get the extra kill on FY.
That was such a greedy move by them. It's, if you filter into the Roche pit 1 by 1, go as 5, take it. They're not fighting. Their Sven's dead. He's not going to buy back for this. Even if he does, then Secret will just disengage off of you. They're still waiting around the area because they know that the exorcism has been committed, though. That's the entire reason they're hanging around. They still want to do this. It just was a little bit greedy because you could have had the Aegis for free. And now you might have to get into a 5-on-5 fight for it.
With like Rolling Thunder and Exorcism down, it's worth considering, but there's still the arena up, and if anybody from PSG.LGD...
I don't think you can give up Aegis cheese right now. You would probably just straight up lose.
Yeah, absolutely. So they should try and check this one out. You just see Roshan come away from that pit a little bit low.
The Deuce is already so hard to kill, giving her a second life, giving Storm a second life.
Now, it's funny, the net worth pretty much stays the same because Secret's greediness also got them. Oh, nice Hex! The turnaround, they're going to be able to get the spear onto the Storm Spirit. FY, they need him to roll into that back line to trap this Storm while he's still silenced up, but it looks like they're not going to commit for this fight. They've thrown away the arena as well as the Serpent Wards, and look at Secret, they're like, well, they used a bunch of abilities, time to go for it. No God Strength, they're going to try and get some swashbuckle damage in here. Ame makes the commitment, trying to go for
Yapzor has the ball.
Possible move the ball from Yapzor. He's controlling so many of these heroes. Now he managed to get a spear drained onto the Death Prophet as well. BKB goes out. Roshan about to drop. They need to be able to finish this up. Nisha solo as well. They can't afford to need to get the Aegis. Yes! Challenge gets it just in time. And Nisha, Storm Spirit goes down. They need to be able to get away. Secret. Zai is just trying to run down the river right now, but maybe's got him dead to rights. 3 dead on the side of Secret. Puppy gonna be caught as well. They can't get away from all these blink daggers. What a win. Secret thought to themselves, hey, they can't fight us. They don't got ultimates. But PSG.LGD, they had just enough.
And now that mistake from mid one, it looks so much worse.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been your free Aegis cheese. This is what I was talking about. All it did was open up opportunity for PSG.LGD to get into a 5-on-5 fight. They're taking that fight. They know that their game is probably over if they don't. That's your all-in opportunity that you've just given them for free.
Yeah, they just bought a new lease on life. Not only that, but it looks like they might be able to tank Rax's here. You can see they actually did have Exorcism ready to go, but between the Glyph and the Storm coming back up, it seems like maybe wants to hold on to this big one until they get a better initiation, maybe with a pickoff on the Ogre here. They'll take that kill.
That was the buyback.
That was a buyback. 70 seconds. That could be the Deuce on the upcoming fight is going to be a lot weaker, and now they go for it with the God Strength activated. Absolutely. Mid one was trying to push that lane out, but it's a bit too late now. The Siege Wagon even stays alive. And maybe apparently just doesn't need to pop the Exorcism. The best part is he could just save it for the team fight, let his Aghanim Scepter as well as his God Strength Sven do all the work. All the heavy lifting done by him. He's going to run. Nisha does not get speared in. Now Chalice is a bit too far forward, going to be pulled into the tier 4s by mid one. A really good stone gaze as well. So Chalice is definitely dead, but it is only the first life for him. FY meanwhile going for the back line, just trying to stop some of these heroes from saving Nisha as they're trying to focus him down right now. The arena, spear into Nisha. He's almost dead, getting it bursted down. No well. He's gonna die. He does have buyback, but only him in mid one against the Exes of the Death Prophet, just beating down the tier 4s. All of a sudden, PSG.LGD, they go from winning one fight to 2 to now going straight for the throne. They are gonna be able to get a sword bolt. Mid one's just trying to jump out, go for the back line, but against Alpha, he dodges the initiation, gets the X on the storm, locks it down, and mid one's dead with no buyback as well. Tier 4's gone. Side's gonna fall here as he tries to throw out a Doom against a Death Prophet, but she just doesn't care. PSG.LGD managed to take this game one. You say secret. They win in a hurry, but PSG.LGD, they prove
Gold graph and the win probability chart, I mean, they just spike in the opposite direction.
it was sitting at like 60 to 70% secret favored for so long, and then that one Roshan fight, and then PSG.LGD just hammered secret over again, forcing more and more mistakes.